Hello students, I Amar Raj, your physics teacher. In previous class we have studied about different types of thermometer, out of which we have studied about till minimum and maximum thermometer. Today in this class we will study about digital thermometer. It is difficult to handle mercury filled thermometer, especially when it breaks, because mercury is a poisonous substance. So nowadays digital thermometers are available to use. This type of thermometer you can see in diagram does not contain mercury. It directly displays the correct temperature on a display screen you can see in the diagram. Next we have to study about the transfer of heat. The flow of heat we know always takes place from a hot object to a cold object, or hotter part of an object to a colder part of the same object. Heat can transfer through three modes, three ways. First is conduction, second convection, and third radiation. First we will study about conduction, which is the process of flow of heat from a hot body to a cold without movement of material. This process is called conduction. You can see conduction. The objects which allow heat to flow through them easily are called conductors. For example, generally metals are conductors like copper, aluminium. Silver is the best conductor. Followed by copper. And the objects or materials that do not allow the heat to flow from them are called insulators. Examples are given as wood and plastic. The second type of, or the second way of transfer of heat is convection. The transfer of heat through a fluid by the movement of the fluid itself is called convection. It means heat transfers with the movement of fluid. This method, convection, you can understand, will not take place in solids because particles of solids cannot move. The molecules or liquids and gases that are near the source of heat get heated first, move, and the next colder particles gets heated, moves, and by this way it takes place throughout the material. You can see in the diagram figure of convection. You can see, for example, boiling of water. Water moves, hot water moves upward and cold water moves downward to take the place and gets heated. After the study of convection, we have to see the convection in nature. In nature, we see convection generally in two forms: sea breeze and land breeze. In sea breeze, wind moves from sea to land. The wind blowing from the sea towards the land is called sea breeze. During the daytime, the land in the coastal area gets heated due to sun's radiation. The sea also gets heated, but it takes more time to get heated. Hence, the air above the land gets heated faster and the air above the sea than the air above the sea. The hot air from the land rises and the cool air from the sea, being heavier, takes its place. This results in sea breeze. As we have seen in diagram. Similarly, in case of land breeze which takes place during night, the wind blowing from land towards sea, because at night the coastal areas gets cooled, that is the land gets cooled down faster than sea, and the opposite process takes place. You can see in the diagram, cool air from land moves towards the sea. Our third process of transfer of heat is radiation. It is a process of transfer of heat in which there is no need of material medium. For example, the solar heat, the sun's heat reaches the earth. Every hot object in the environment loses its heat to the environment slowly. As you see, every hot object radiates some heat into the environment, as you see in the diagram. Generally, dark colored surfaces are good absorbers of heat, radiated heat, and the light colored surfaces are bad absorbers of heat. After the study of the three modes of heat transfer, we have to study about working of vacuum flask in short. Vacuum flask which stops all the three modes of transfer of heat, and by this way it keeps the hotter object hotter as well as the colder object colder inside it. The working is given. A vacuum flask, also called thermos flask, does not allow heat transfer by any of the three ways by which the heat can travel. First of all, the silver coating on the inner wall of bottle prevents heat transfer by radiation, and the vacuum between its double wall prevents heat moving by convection. The thinness of the glass walls, means its glass is very thin walled, so stops heat entering or leaving the flask by conduction. And by this way, the thermos flask checks the flow of heat by all the three modes. Moreover, the case of flask surrounding provides additional insulation because it is made up of insulators like plastic, sponge, etc. Next, by a study of the chapter heat, by the completion of the chapter heat, write some practice questions which you have to do by your own. First, why do we wear light colored clothes in summer? Second, Why we wear dark colored clothes during winter? Why do we wear dark colored clothes during winter? And last, how do woolen clothes keep us warm? How do woolen clothes keep us warm? Write the answers of these questions. Till then, goodbye.